Gospel according to St. Luke, the 19th chapter. As Jesus came near and saw the city of Jerusalem, he wept over it, saying, "If you, even you, had only recognized on this day the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. Indeed, the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up ramparts around you, surround you, and hem you in on every side. They will crush you to the ground, you and your children within you, and they will not leave within you one stone upon another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation from God." Then he entered the temple and began to drive out those who were selling things there. And he said, "It is written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer,' but you have made it a den of robbers." Every day he was teaching in the temple. Chief priests, scribes, and the leaders of the people kept looking for a way to kill him. But they did not find anything they could do, for all the people were spellbound by what they heard. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Christ. At almost the very center of Chicago's loop, at Clark and Washington to be exact, where the financial and the political districts of the city converge, there stands a church. If you're walking by, it's hard to tell it's a church because from street level, it looks a lot like the office buildings and the banks that surround it. However, the congregation is older than Chicago, being founded in 1831, 6 years before the city was incorporated. It has been at its present location since 1838. The First United Methodist Church, Chicago Temple, has been at the center of Chicago since the early portions of the 19th century. The focal point of the main floor sanctuary is an altar, which features a wood carving of Jesus weeping over the city of Jerusalem. 400 feet above the main church, at the base of the building's spire, in what they call the chapel in the sky, there is another altar, which is a companion piece to the altar in the sanctuary. But this time, Jesus is seen weeping over the city of Chicago because people still do not know the things that make for peace. Since the chapel was dedicated in 1952, the Chicago that Jesus weeps over looks nothing like the Chicago of our day. No Willis or Trump Towers, no Hancock or Aon buildings. And that increases the power of it, because it could be any city that Jesus is weeping over. And still, he has cause to weep. That's part of the ambiguity of Palm Sunday. On the one hand, there is the palm waving and the joyful shouts of the crowd. We like that part. But on the other, there is Jesus, after the parade is over, looking out at a city he loves and weeping. A lot of little moist around the eye, mind you, but weeping, sobbing. St. Luke uses the same word that St. John uses the only other time in the Gospel where Jesus weeps, over the death of his friend Lazarus. Both times, the word used is not just to shed a tear, but to cry, as if from the depths of our very soul. Wondering why Jesus weeps is a good way to begin our Holy Week pilgrimage. I think an often overlooked reason why Jesus wept was that the overwhelming majority of the citizens and visitors to Jerusalem of that day didn't care one little bit about him or his parade or his ministry. They were too busy preparing to celebrate the Passover if they were Jews, policing the city's crowds if they were the Roman soldiers, controlling the crowds in the temple if they were the guards there, or keeping their restaurants and stores open late to accommodate the holiday shoppers, as if their only concern was the coins in their coffin. Jesus weeps because people were busy then, just as people are busy now. Dr. Fred Anderson of Madison Avenue Presbyterian Church explains why it has become the custom in many churches to read the Passion narrative on Palm Sunday rather than waiting, as we do, to read it on Good Friday. He says, in recent times, as the events of the week that follows, Holy Week, have gotten swallowed up in business as usual, absorbed in spring vacations, the attendance at Maundy, Thursday, and Good Friday services have waned. I know that. Some churches accommodate this. But I'm a little funny. Maundy, Thursday is an important day. Good Friday is a crucial day for our faith. And so I really do expect people to take time out, make the extra effort, and hear the whole story. I know most won't, and I feel bad. But Jesus may be weeping. Jesus may be weeping because those that miss it may not either have time or care. Jesus wept, I think, also that day because for each and every citizen of Jerusalem, that day was about them. Yes, even those who turned out for the parade and waved their palms and threw their coats and yelled Hosanna, most of which Luke leaves out of his account, so I've had to borrow it from the others, were there to advance their own agenda.